Hello and welcome back to Code a Key. In this video, we're going to talk about space complexity. In previous video, we have completed, time complexity calculation in common loops, in recursion, different asymptotic notations, which you can check that out in the playlist of DSC series as well as the videos which are linked in the iCard over here. Okay, over here. Okay, so in this video, we're going to discuss space complexity, another part of data structures and algorithm in Python. Okay, so this is the fourth chapter in introduction of algorithms. Okay, after this, we're going to move to mathematics. Okay, we will talk about it at the end of the video. Now, let us see space complexity. So, as we all know that whenever we consider analysis, we have two major issues or two major complexities. That those are time complexities and space complexities, right? We have seen how we calculate time complexity using different factors, like every step is taking 1 unit of time. If we have for loops, then it's going to run n times if it is going from n 0 to n, right? Similarly, here also we're going to have space complexities, but here something is different, and that different thing is we will see in the in this video. Okay, so let us move towards what you can see. Okay, what you can see in this slide is we I have two programs which I have run on CodeChef, and what you can see over here is this is very simple program where we are just adding two numbers which are a and b. Okay, and in this I'm taking some input in the array using for loop, and again I'm using another for loop for doing the sum of that array element. Okay, again very simple problems. If we have to calculate the time complexities of each problem, this will be big O of 1, very easy. This will be big O of n, very easy. You can see and you can have it. But what is the space complexity? What about the space complexities of this particular program? uh, you know what you can see when you run the program is nothing but memory, something like this. Okay, don't confuse yourself that this is your time complexity or this is the amount of space complexity it is taking or it is having. It is not. Okay, this is not the space complexity or anything of your program. It is just the memory taking. Okay, so let us understand what exactly this is or how exactly you calculate then the complexity of your program. So here what you can see or how do you exactly analyze is by considering the number of variables you're using in your program. Okay, as you can see in this program we have three variables, a, b, c. Yes, a, b, and the sum c, and all these are ints, right? And we consider that int takes 2 or 4 bytes of bytes of memory. Okay, so we have 3, so we will do 3 into 4, right? That is 12 bytes of memory. We can consider that this particular program is taking. That is constant, right? That is constant in this program because we're just going to have three variables. Their value is not going to change because we're just adding these two values. So by that we can say the complexity is big O of 1y because the value is constant. It's not going to change. The value of it is not going to change, right? Now let us consider this example. In this example, the n is variable. We don't know the value of n. The user is going to input the value of n, and then we are going to take the you know uh, take we're going to take the array as input and we're going to sum it. Okay, again we're going to have a few variables over here. What are those variables? We have n, we have sum, we have I, right? N sum I. Again we have I, which is going to take the same. Okay, we have array. Okay, we have array, then we again have sum. Okay, all these values are going to repeat itself. Okay, and we have n values are going to get repeated, right? But here the value of n may change, so n. Okay, but it is going to be an integer. Okay, here array is going to change, so n amount of space it is taking. Okay, sum is going to be an integer, so 1 unit of space let us consider, and because it is constant, so we can just continue, so consider 1. I is an again integer, it's going to take 1 unit of space. uh, 1 unit of space, it means whatever byte it is going to consider. Okay, we are ignoring the constant and it is considering one any big number, right? So what you can see over here, the complexity will be big O of n. Was that clear? What's that somewhat clear? And how we are considering space? This is it. Okay, this is it. when we think about our simple problems with no recursion and stuff like that. This is how we calculate the space complexity. Very easy. You just need to calculate the number of variables that particular your program is going to have. And if it is for loop, again, you could consider n, because we don't know the value of n, right? So this is the linear time complexity. This is constant time complexity. Let us move. What if we have recursion? Okay, or let us talk something about space complexity over here a bit. Space complexity. So what is space complexity? Is a measure of amount of working storage that is needed by an algorithm, that is required for an algorithm. Okay, that means how much memory in the worst case is needed at any point of the algorithm. Okay, as with time complexity, we are mostly concerned in how the time needs to grow, or the space needs to grow in big O terms, as the size of n of the input problem grows. As n grows, how the space grows, that we're going to see. Let me explain you something like this. Okay, let us see, we have a function. Let us consider we have a function a. Okay, we have a function a which is taking something m unit of space. Okay, it is taking m unit of space. That is just a common, just a general example. Again, we have b function which is taking n unit of space. Okay, n unit of space. And the difference is just that this a is locally taking the space, and this b is sorry, uh, b is taking local space, and uh, function a is taking its own space. So this is a function which is calling something. That means we are going to have a function a which is calling the main function b. Let us consider. Okay, which is calling the main function b, or a is the main function which is calling b. Okay, another function. So at this time, the complexity for space will be m plus n. Okay, whatever we go of m plus n, whatever space a is taking with b. Now this is not changing. This thing is not changing if we have number of b's. If the particular a is calling b three times or four times, this is not going to change. The complexity will still be m plus n. Okay, because here the space is going to get reused. No, we are using the same variable for calculating same thing, right? So if this has three variables, so this is also going to use three variables only, and it is going to reuse the space. Okay, that was allocated. So still the complexity for this will be m plus n. Isn't this very simple, right? Now let us take few examples for a recursion, because that is the issue. That is where something comes. That is stack comes. Okay, let us see this. We have calculated the time complexity. Yes, if you haven't seen my previous videos, again, where we have calculated the time complexity for the factorial problem, you can check that out in the I button again. Okay, so still, I'll remind you that the time complexity of these algorithm of the factorial algorithm is what is big O of n. Okay, big O of n if we are solving it recursively. As I told you, there are two type of methods. There are recursive method and there is iterative method. So recursive method takes O of n time. Okay, when these all problems are going to come, the next problem that we're going to discuss is Fibonacci sequence. Okay, so the same problem is going to come when you're going to study mathematics. So in mathematics, I'll be explaining you all these problems. Okay, using both the methods, iterative method as well as factorial method. So we're going to code all these things. Okay, so time complexity we have. Okay, big O of n. Now let us calculate the space complexity. So for space complexity, the basic method or the simplest method is to go through recursion tree. Okay, so we're going to draw the recursion tree for this particular method. So let us say we have the value of n is 5. Okay, so n is 5 in our case. Okay, so for 5, if we have to calculate the factorial of 5, it is going to calculate the factorial of 4, 3, 2, 1. Not the factorial signs over here. Okay, you should know the factorial of 3, you should know the factorial of 2, you should know the factorial of 1 for solving this. So the function, the factorial of 5 is going to call what? Factorial of 4, and the value for this is going to get stored in the stack. Okay, it is going to wait that yes, I'm going to get the value. The function is in the stack. Okay, in the memory, that the value, the variables of the 5, factorial 5 are still. So it needs factorial of 4. So factorial of 4 is going to come into picture in the stack. Okay, in the memory. So, but for factorial 4, I need factorial 3. So factorial 3 is going to come. But for calculation of factorial 3, I need factorial 2. So factorial 2 is going to come into picture. Okay, similarly for factorial 1, I need, sorry, for factorial 2, I need factorial of 1. So factorial 1 is going to come into picture. But I know if n is equals to 1, or let us go one more time, okay, factorial of 0, okay, because the base condition we have used is 0, so factorial of 0 is come into picture. And as we got the value of n as 0, we're going to move over here, we're going to return 1. So it is going to return what? It's going to return 1. I'm going to change the color. So it is going to return what? It is going to return 1. So it is going to get pop. Okay, the value is going to get pop. We need the value of 0 for this, for this. So we're going to get 1 again in this case, right? So again it's going to get pop, and we're going to get, means this is going to come out of the stack. This is going to come out of the stack, and here we're going to get 2. Okay, now you're going to use the value of 3 into 2, it will do. And yes, 3 into previous value 2, that is 6. So this is again going to get popped, and we're going to have value of 4. So 6 into 4, yes. And similarly we will go like this. Okay, I guess it is 24 and 120, right? Yes. So this is how space complex it is, but we haven't calculated the space yet, right? So the space is nothing but the number of levels it is having: level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. So it is having 5 levels. Yes. So max depth it is having is 5. That is nothing but, so this is the 0th level. Okay, so that is nothing but the value of n. The space complexity for this kind of algorithm directly depends upon n. So space is directly proportional to n, right? So the complexity will be big O of n. Wasn't that very simple? You just need to draw the recursion tree, and then you get what you want. Correct? Correct. Uh, okay, let us move towards the next thing, that is Fibonacci series. We are going to calculate the space complexity. I don't think we have calculated time complexity for this, but for you, I'd like to tell you that the space complexity, also the time complexity for this algorithm is, or for Fibonacci sequence is big O of n square. Okay, big O of n square. Uh, Now, again, as we did over here, we are going to have what? We're going to have the recursion tree for this as well. Now let us see. We have to calculate the Fibonacci series till 6. You know what is Fibonacci series? If you do not know, Google it, because you must know. Okay, so we have to calculate for, Fibonacci. We have to calculate till Fibonacci 6. Okay, so for Fibonacci 6, we need two numbers, previous two numbers. So f5 and f4. So for Fibonacci 4, we need previous two numbers, that is f2 and f3. Similarly, for Fibonacci 5, I need previous two numbers, f3 and f4. Okay, for Fibonacci 2, I need Fibonacci 0, or we don't need to move to 2. Okay, for Fibonacci 3, we need previous two numbers, f of 1 and f of 3. Okay, sorry, f of 2. Okay, similarly for f of 3, we're going to need f of 1 and f of 2. Similarly for f of 4, we're going to need f of 2 and f of 3, and 3 is going to take f of 1 and f of 2. But you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. That is again, the maximum depth is directly proportional to the value of n that you are considering. Therefore, the space complexity is what? Big O of n over here also. One thing, this is not an optimal solution for, the recursive method of for Fibonacci series is not an optimal thing for calculation, because you know what, you can observe that we are calculating the same thing again and again, right? calculating the same thing again and again. Here we have value of 4. Okay, by this we're going to calculate the value of 4, but we are again calculating the value of 4. This is what, you know, very wrong, very non-efficient. So we're going to see how we do in, when we will be finding more optimal solution. Okay. So for Fibonacci recursive implementation or any recursive for Fibonacci recursive implementation or any recursive implementation, the space required is directly proportional to the depth of the recursion tree. Okay, because that is the maximum number of elements that can be present in the implicit call of that particular function. Okay, I hope I'm clear with the statement. uh, let us see what's next. Okay, this is it for this video, I guess. So this was a very short video about what is space complexity. How do you calculate how do we calculate the space complexity? Okay. Here I like to add something, like if we have a function called something like a of n. Okay, and here we have something like for I in range, I in range 0 to n, and here we have the function called as n minus 1. Okay, as n minus 1. So again, you don't need to worry anything about the space complexity will be big O of n square, big O of n square, unit of workspace it is going to require. Okay, the same as for time complexity. Okay, or the previous examples. Okay, so this is it. That is not the space complexity. Okay, that is it for the space complexity video. Okay, so thanks for watching. Do share it with your friends. Do like it. Okay, do comment if you have any doubt related space complexity, related time complexity, because we have completed one chapter of data structures and algorithm, that is introduction to algorithms. Now what exactly is uh, time complexity, what exactly or how you exactly calculate time complexity, how you exactly calculate space complexity. I guess Hacker Earth has problems related time and space complexity. Go check that out, Hacker Earth. If it is there, you can check out the description. Okay, so from next video, we are going to talk about what is space. Sorry, what is about mathematics. Okay, we're going to solve few problems like count digit, palindrome numbers, factorial of a number, GCD of two numbers, LCM of two numbers, and many more. Prime of checking the number is prime or not. Okay, that is a very good problem. We're going to have separate videos for all the problems. I guess we have 9 questions. We're going to solve 9 questions on mathematics. Okay, that is going to give you more depth on mathematics stuff. Okay, because when you study data structures and algorithm, mathematics is required. Okay, so this is it for this video. Then after mathematics, we're going to have bit manipulation. Okay, we're going to see and or and XOR and stuff like that, and solving few questions on that. Okay, so let us see you in the next video, that is on counting digits. Okay, of mathematics chapter of our data structures and algorithm. If you haven't seen the plan of data structures algorithm, which I'll be following, you can check that out in the description below. Okay, this is it. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Yes, thank you.